Hey y'all, Miss Naylor here. We are going to do Con Col Cor today, which means together or with, hence the reason we listen to the Beatles come together. See what I did there? Yep. Alright, so Con Col Cor, together and with. Highlight that, por favor. Let's take a look at the top of the page. Companion takes on new meaning when we learn its roots. A companion, from the roots com, meaning with, and pan, meaning bread, was originally a person one shared one's bread with. We don't think of that original meaning today, and yet when we want to be hospitable, we invite our companions to share our food. Com, meaning together or with, is sometimes difficult to spot because it so often changes its last letter to be like the first letter of the root following it. Thus, colloquial becomes colloquial, connect becomes connect, and correlate becomes correlate. Sometimes the letter M is dropped completely, and education becomes co-education. Changing the last letter in these ways makes pronunciation easier. On page 6 is a further discussion of changes in root spelling. Sometimes, as in condone and compunction, com is used merely as an intensive, giving more emphasis to the root that followed. Alright, our first word is coherent. It has the roots co, meaning together, and her, meaning to stick, so to stick together, and that's its literal meaning. Let's look at the second meaning, having an orderly relation of parts. My geology professor's lectures are always coherent and interesting. Beautiful, right? I do want you to think about, as you're looking at this one, the idea that if we talk about coherent papers, if your paper sticks together well, we like it, right? It means that everything kind of works well together. So think of it kind of like that, okay? Collaborate is our next word. Now you'll notice there's only the com root here with the L ending, so col right here. But if you look in the middle, look at that. There's the word labor. So labor together. It's really simple, right? So my favorite example is this concept that YouTube stars are collaborating to cover songs and stuff, right? So if we skip down here, it tells us about how this got together because a lot of people were talking to Jake Coco about, hey, make a really cool collaboration with a bunch of artists, right? And so rather than do just that, they went ahead and put together a collaboration of a bunch of different people from YouTube and all over doing some nights.
Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off, but I still wake up.
Pretty cool, right? So all those people worked together, they labored together to create one cohesive, oh, look at that, or coherent video. Let's go ahead and move forward. Our next word is collusion. So a secret agreement between two or more persons for a deceitful purpose. Comes from the roots call, meaning together, and led, meaning to play. So to play together. The manager suspected collusion between the two employees accused of embezzling company funds. Ooh. Let's take a look at a much more entertaining version of this. Some of y'all may have seen this one, so let's take a look. It's a commercial. Obviously, we cut that off a little short because we've got a lot of words this week, but I wanted you to see this idea of a deceitful purpose and the secret agreement, right? So you've got the dad and the kids, so two or more people, and they have the secret agreement. They're not going to tell mom about all the silly stuff they do with dad that mom might not approve of, right? All right, our next word, commensurate. Equal in measure or size, proportionate. From the roots com, meaning together, and mens, mean to measure, so to measure together. This makes sense, right? The pay should be commensurate with the work, so you should get an appropriate amount of pay for the amount of work that you're doing. It should be proportionate to the amount of work you do. Our next word is commiserate, to sympathize. From the roots com, meaning with, and miserare, meaning to pity. I really like that root, miserare. I think it's kind of fun to say, to pity. So, here we're just going to watch the beginning of this clip quick. We're going to see how this reporter is commiserating with the Hawks fans, right?
Well, this is not the kind of family day that Hawthorn fans had been hoping for here at their spiritual home at Glen Ferry Oval. Really, they wanted to celebrate with their team. Instead, it was a case of commiserating. Now, the team appeared on stage much earlier than initially.
So see, they're all sad together. All right, our next word is commotion. from the roots com, meaning together, and mot, meaning to move, so to move together, people moving together. More commonly, we use it to mean social disorder. So I really want you to think about that one, social disorder. The commotion disrupted the meeting, or the students yelling in the hallway and slamming their lockers caused a commotion, disrupting the sailor making her roots video. Not that any of you would ever do that, right? So here is a video called Start the Commotion by the Wise Guys. Check it out. I think you'll find it entertaining and see what we mean about this idea of people moving together or social disorder. So there they are, starting the commotion. All right, our next word is compunction. From the roots com in the intensive form, so it just intensifies the other root. And the word punct, meaning to prick, right? So an uneasiness caused by a sense of guilt, a slight regret. So rather than like pricking your finger, right, poking a hole in yourself, something like that, we mean more like when we say to prick, like pricking at your soul almost, right? That you feel badly, and intensely badly, hence the root com here, to intensify this idea of pricking. A prick of conscience, an uneasiness caused by a sense of guilt, a slight regret. He felt some compunction about taking so much of his tutor's time. Our next word is concur, from the roots com, meaning together, and cur, meaning to run, so to run together, to express agreement or to be of the same opinion. Experts on healthcare concur that patients must be involved in their treatment. Condone, from the roots com in the intensive form and don, meaning to give, so intensely give, right? To forgive or overlook. And let's take a look at an example. So I went ahead and looked at the All Africa news site quick and pulled up this article about Zimbabwe. ZRP doesn't condone corruption. And it says the Zimbabwe Republic Police does not condone corruption among its members and will invoke the necessary legal statutes on all those accused of the vice, the senior police officer has said. So what they're explaining here is that the government does not forgive or overlook corruption, right? For moving forward, because we have so many words this week, from the roots con, meaning together, and gen, meaning birth, we have the word congenital, which means existing at birth, right? Born with something. The child has a congenital heart defect. That means that the child was born with a heart defect of some kind, right? It was there when they were born. No one caused it. It was already there, okay? The next word, from the roots con, meaning together, and sense, meaning to feel, consensus, so to feel together, general agreement. No consensus has been reached about the safety of nuclear plants. All right, our next word is consummate, from the roots con, meaning together, and summa, meaning sum, so sum together, right, as in like when you add things and you get a sum, okay? Complete or perfect in every respect, complete or utter. She was a consummate artist, so she was a perfect artist. She was complete and utter, marvelous, right? Our next word is convene, from the roots con, meaning together, and ven, meaning to come together formally. The committee will convene next week. Our next word is convivial. Fond of eating, drinking, and being sociable together, from the roots con, meaning together, and viv, meaning to live. So to live together, right? And we don't mean just like physically living in the same place. The idea of living in that you do what you love and you have fun. That's living, right? In a convivial mood, the guests stayed until midnight. So they were having such fun being sociable together that they went ahead and hung out for ages, right? And our last word, correlate. Oh, go to correlate. There we go. To relate together, to show relationship. And if you look here, so we have the root right there, and then, oh look, there's the word relate. Relate together. It works. Yay! The accountant is trying to correlate this year's figures with last year's, show their relationship, right? All right, you have a lot to do. You are responsible for exercise 1, 2, here, I'll even make a note here while we're talking. Oh, maybe, there we go. Exercise 1, 3, silly computer, 4, and 5 plus the Kia. Okay, so make sure you've done exercises 1, 3, 4, and 5, and make sure that you get that Kia done before our quiz, okay? Best of luck, study hard, don't forget to study your old roots.